Welcome, everyone. Today, we're jumping into a seriously funny classic from one of India's absolute legends, Munshi Premchand. The story is called Akhiri Heela, which translates to the final ruse. And trust me, it's all about a guy who will do, well, anything to dodge his responsibilities.
So, I've got a question for you. What's the wildest, most over-the-top lie you've ever cooked up just to get out of something? Well, get ready, because we're about to meet a man who takes this to a whole other level. His entire creative genius is basically powered by one thing: his desperate need to feel like a bachelor, even though he's very, very married. See, our guy here, our narrator, he's totally in love with the idea of being married. You know, the romantic walks, browsing fancy shops together, the whole dream. But the reality? Oh man. The reality for him is just a total nightmare of buying cooking oil and hauling bags of flour. He sees these other dads like hiding snacks from their own kids, and he's just filled with this cold, hard dread.
So here's the problem, and for him, it's a big one. His wife, who's been living back in the village with their kids, decides it's high time the family got back together, in the city, with him. And this, for our guy, is pretty much the apocalypse. It's what kicks off this absolutely desperate and honestly hilarious chain of lies.
Okay, so his first excuse? It's pure, unadulterated melodrama. He decides he's going to make his job as a newspaper editor sound like he's James Bond, but with more ink stains. So he writes her these letters with these just wild stories. He's claiming he's being hunted by secret police 24/7, that strangers point at him on the street like he's some kind of notorious outlaw. He even spins this yarn about being on a train where a guy saw his business card and just casually started loading a revolver. I mean, come on. He's trying to paint this picture of a life that's just constantly teetering on the edge of total disaster. And, he's sitting there thinking, nailed it. There's no way she's bringing the kids into this. But he was mistaken. It doesn't scare her off one bit, which of course means he's got to double down. He has to come up with something even more terrifying. All right, plan B. For his second attempt, he pivots. He goes from "my life is in danger" to "the entire city is an inescapable death trap." It's a bold move. He describes this place where literally everything is poison. The milk, poison. The ghee, poison. Even the fruit is poison. He says the water and the air are toxic, and if the poisoned food doesn't kill you, don't worry, the plagues of mosquitoes, flies, and rats will. And hey, if you somehow survive all that, you're probably just going to get mowed down by a car. It's a miracle, he writes, an absolute miracle if anyone even makes it through a single day.
And this backfires in the most spectacular way possible. Instead of being terrified for herself and the kids, she's now absolutely petrified for him. His horror story just makes her even more determined to get there right away to save him. The plan is officially going off the rails.
So you can see his grand plan is just a cascade of failures. He's tried the whole dangerous job thing, the poisonous city thing. Both have failed. But believe me, he's got more tricks up his sleeve. Let's see what he pulls out of the hat next. All right, on to excuse number 3. He figures if the city itself won't scare her away, maybe his absolutely chaotic social life will. He basically describes his friends as a human plague of locusts. He tells her his house isn't even a home, it's more like a public inn, a free-for-all. His friends just show up, they eat everything in sight, they borrow all his clothes, and they never ever leave. He even says they come over when he's not there and start ordering things on his tab. He's hoping the very thought of having to deal with this mess will finally be what sends her running.
But nope, she's still coming. So totally unfazed, he has to move on to excuse number 4. This time, he attacks the very buildings of the city, the housing.
Okay, at this point, he's clearly panicking. He's describing the apartments as these tiny, smelly, leaky bird cages. But wait, it gets better. They're also all haunted, and if the ghosts don't get you, the burglars will. He even claims his own friends have tried to rob him. And yet, unbelievably, none of this works either. She's still on her way. So, let's recap. He's tried danger, disease, freeloading friends, and ghosts. He's pretty much running out of ammo here. His excuses are getting more and more ridiculous, but his wife's determination is just rock solid. So, what's left? What's his last resort? Well, he saved what he thinks is his most powerful weapon for last. This is it, the grand finale. He decides to play the one card he believes no wife on earth can possibly ignore: good old-fashioned jealousy. He writes this letter saying the city is just no place for a respectable woman,
And why is that? Oh, because it's just teeming with these beautiful, shameless, flirty women who have nothing better to do than get all dressed up, put on perfume, and barge into men's homes.
He mails that letter, and he is just brimming with confidence. He's certain of success. This, he thinks, is his masterstroke. This is his Akhiri Heela, his final unbeatable ruse. He's absolutely positive that the idea of competing with these city temptresses is the one thing that will keep his simple village wife far, far away.
So he kicks back, puts his feet up, and waits for a letter from her basically surrendering. But that's not what happens. Instead, just 3 days later, there's a knock at the door. Way, way too soon for a letter to have even gotten to her and for her to have replied.
And who's there? It's his wife, with all their luggage and all 3 of their children. She didn't even bother writing back. She just packed up the entire family and got on the first train. She just storms right past him into the house, totally ready for a fight. But here's the twist. She's not there to fight with him. She's there to defend her turf from all those shameless women he wrote about. He thought he was describing a deterrent. She heard a confession and a call to arms.
So, in the end, the one lie he thought was absolutely foolproof, his supposed masterstroke designed to keep his family away, that was the very thing that brought them rushing right to his doorstep. He completely, totally played himself. The exact reality he was so terrified of became his life, all thanks to his own brilliant idea.
And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? Throughout this whole hilarious mess, was our narrator really trying to protect his wife from the big, bad city? Or was he just a guy who was terrified of the simple, everyday responsibilities of being a husband and a father, trying every last trick in the book to avoid growing up? Hey, if you enjoyed this little breakdown of a literary classic, please make sure you follow us for more. We're always diving into incredible stories from all over the world. Go ahead and hit that bell icon so you don't miss a thing, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.